This chart is going to help you understand how you compare to other guys. By plotting your face and your height, you can see what tier you sit at, being that either a normie, high tier normie, Chad light, or Chad. You're probably wondering, what's the point of this? It seems so redundant, why would you compare yourself to other people? But by doing this, you're going to get a better understanding of how desirable you are in this market. If you want to quickly get down to your facial rating or where you kind of sit at, look at this photo and try to be unbiased, see where you fit in, and choose a number and stick to that. Once you've got your number, you can then plot yourself on here. So for instance, if you're 5'9", which is the cutoff right here, being that of manlet height, and you have a 5 out of 10 face card, you're going to be considered a normie. Whereas if you're 5'9" and you have a 6 out of 10 face card, you're then a high tier normie, and so forth. The difference between each tier is a deviation of just 1 unit. It's just a followed pattern, and it makes a lot of sense if you just look here. Anything below this tier, the normie tier, is going to be considered over, right? In reality, you're just going to be far less desired. If you haven't noticed, everything goes downhill from 5'8" and below. So to be considered a normie now, you require a 6 out of 10 face at 5'8", and then at 5'6", a 7 out of 10 face. And at 5'4", you'd have to have a 9 out of 10 face just to be a normie. Not a high tier normie, not a Chad, just a normie. Another trend and pattern we see is heights 6'2" to 6'4". They're practically equivalent. The difference between the heights of 6'2" and 6'4" is practically non-existent in regards to desirability. You can see that the same face card gets you the same tier. Right here and here. At 5'10" and 5'11", your height is practically negligible. It's invisible. No one thinks twice about it. It's just your face card that actually plays the biggest role in your SMV. In case you don't know what SMV is, it's sexual market value, and it's comprised mainly of your face and your height. For example, in the case of Lacey and Marlon, Lacey would have to gain 2 inches going from 5'6" to 5'8", and if we plot that, he would need a 9 out of 10 face card to be considered Chad. Having a 9 out of 10 face card alone is practically impossible. And if we just look at where Marlon sits, we plot him from 6'5" all the way up with a face card of 7, it's probably even higher. By looking at this chart and comparing Lacey with Marlon, he gets mogged. As I mentioned, each 1 unit is a mog. This is a mog, this is a mog. And to note, there's a huge bonus that occurs at 6 foot. You can see a divot that occurs here. At 5'11", you just need a 5 out of 10 face to be considered a normie, whereas at 6 foot, you can have a huge phthalo in your face, be a 4 out of 5 on the scale of 10, and still be a normie. So that's a cool bonus that kicks in right here. There's an interesting thing that happens when you reach the height of 6'2". Your height taps out. It's no longer gonna improve things for you if you get taller. Actually, till the height of 6'4", things start to go south. So you can see that 6'5" to 6'7", the face card requirements increase. That's because of 2 things. You're gonna be a whole lot more intimidating and proportions can get whack. Also, the height difference can cause issues if the girl's a whole lot more shorter, etc. It's only a slight deviation that occurs. You can see it only decreases by a little bit. You can see how a 6'7" guy who's a normie, would be plotted right here, would be equivalent to that of a 6 foot guy who's also a normie. It's just how it is. Statistically speaking, that's the sweet spot. Heights 6 foot to 6'2". So how important is this difference that we're seeing in each tier? It's important enough to implicate and to affect how people treat you in real life. Online dating, profile swipes, profile checks, swipes, etc., that all changes with just this, because on dating apps, they're not really looking for your personality, they're just looking at your face and your height. There would have to be an increment difference of 1 to be mogged. And if you're mogged, no matter how much status or money you have, they win that first impression game. If there's one thing we can take away from all of this, it's that no matter how tall you are, it can't compensate for a low facial score. So face trumps height, but height can break you if you're too below average. This chart also confirms the 5'11" syndrome, which is essentially the difference between that of 5'11" to 6 foot. There's a psychological hit that occurs once you reach 6 foot. People will actually start to notice that you're tall, and that plays a role in your SMV and how you perform in every tier. So that's that. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know down below in the comments. This has been the Mog Chart. Thank you so much for watching. More to come. I'm going to teach you guys how to actually go from, one tier to the other, how you can ascend despite your height and do the best that you can with what you're working with in your genetics. I'm going to try to do daily uploads, so please subscribe and tap that notification button in case I miss a day or whatever. You can still get a notification whenever I post. See you guys in the next one.